What's going on, everybody? B-Mac here. Diamond Dynasty content has got a little bit stale, and I don't think I'm the only one who feels that way. But MLB The Show is still primarily the game that I play, and before Diamond Dynasty became a thing about 7 or 8 years ago, there was franchise mode. I was the type of guy who would try to play every game throughout the entire season, play all 162 if I could, and I always played as the Seattle Mariners because they're my hometown team. A little wheeling, a little dealing at the trade deadline, and you could see how you could perform and upgrade your team in certain areas, and of course, difficulty settings were probably on All-Star back in those days. This time around, the Mariners are among the teams that we'll consider, but there are 14 others that we will choose from in just a minute. However, right now, let's go over the format. All of the games will be played on Hall of Fame to begin with. If it comes a little easy, then we'll bump it up to Legend at some point. If we happen to win a World Series in our first year, for example, then we'll bump it up to Legend. But we're going to play it on Hall of Fame. We're going to play every 6th game to start. That means we're going to be pitching in order of our pitching rotation, our 5-man rotation, but we're going to be skipping everything in between. And we will have critical situations turned on, so we may get a few games here and there, especially later in the season. Now, if we need to simulate a little bit to get to the end of the year, or if we're not in playoff contention, then we will address that probably by simulating and buying or selling at the trade deadline. That's what half of the fun is with a franchise. So, are you ready to see who we're going to pick? We put teams on the spin wheel. Let's go check it out. On the spin wheel are 15 teams. We have 8 from the American League and 7 from the National League. And the way we determined which ones to put on or leave off, primarily, not in every case, but it was the playoff picture. If the playoffs were to begin today, ... So the teams that are included in the American League East, I only included the Boston Red Sox. And one of the reasons why I did that is because I didn't want to play as the Yankees. I didn't want to play more generally as a perennial contender. So another team that we did not include because of that, even though their division standing is last, is the St. Louis Cardinals out of the National League Central. They are generally contenders, and they've got a roster where if we simulated a bunch, I feel like St. Louis would have an unfair advantage. So, we included all 4 teams in the AL Central except for the Minnesota Twins, and we included the Mariners, Angels, and the A's in the AL West. On the National League side, we included the Marlins, Mets, and Nationals. We only have the Pittsburgh Pirates on the spin wheel out of the Central because Milwaukee and Cincinnati and Chicago are all fighting for either the division or a playoff spot currently in real life. St. Louis is not included on the spin wheel because, as I said, they are a perennial contender. In the West, we left the Dodgers and Giants alone, but the Diamondbacks and Padres and Rockies are all on that list. And I would even consider if we landed on Padres based on their roster construction and the likelihood of success during simulation to potentially even exclude the San Diego Padres, even though they are currently 4th place in the National League West. So there you go. 15 teams to choose from. We're going to spin the wheel. We have the option, as we have done spin wheels in the past, to reject the first choice and go to a second spin. We have the option to reject that second choice, but if we do, then the third one will land, and that is the team that we will pick. So, because there are 15 teams, and I think that there's a solid case to be made for each of them, we will likely take our first spin, but those are the rules. Here we go with spin number 1. And it lands on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which is a very intriguing team Shohei Ohtani. What do you do with Ohtani with the Los Angeles Angels? Do you try to re-sign him and cripple the organization? Do you trade him at the deadline to get prospects? I think I'd like to keep that in the back of my mind and pass on the Angels, because that decision is either going to make or break the franchise right away. And I'd kind of like to see what Ohtani does outside of our control, to be honest. So we are going to spin a second time. And we get the Washington Nationals, a team that doesn't have a lot to work with except for some prospects that they got for the Juan Soto deal made a season ago. A very intriguing choice. And I think we'll go ahead and take the Curly W's. We're going to take the Washington Nationals because they present one of the biggest challenges on the board. And let's see if we can build the Washington Nationals into a perennial contender. How about that? Okay, let's go ahead and start this new franchise. We're going to start from a brand new file, and we're going to use the current MLB The Show rosters, which does include all of the transactions all the way through the current trading deadline. So, Max Scherzer is going to be part of the Texas Rangers, Josh Bell on the Miami Marlins, and so on and so forth. All of the trades that took place by the August 1st deadline will be reflected in the current roster selection. Little challenging here with the Washington Nationals. They do rank 29th, 17th in contact, 29th in power, 29th in pitching, 28th in defense, and 12th in speed. So there's lots of areas to work through for the Nationals. AAA is Rochester, AA is Harrisburg, but there's a $150 million budget, and the annual goal is to finish over 500. The contract goal is to reach the postseason. So we're going to start with the Curly W's and see what we could do. So some decisions to be made right off the bat as whether or not we're going to use Steven Strasburg, because he is injured and at AAA, and technically he may not pitch again. So I think the right move would be to try to deal him away, or just quite frankly cut him to see what we could do. But we've got Mackenzie Gore, Josiah Gray, Trevor Williams. Kate Cavalli is at AA. He might get an early look. And Patrick Corbin, and that contract is pretty bad. So we'll have to see what we can do there. We do have Keibert Ruiz with B potentially as a 71 overall. He's got some power from the right side. Michael Chavis, Dom Smith. Okay, Luis Garcia. Grady House at third base, maybe. He's a 19-year-old kid who's probably going to get a look at some point. Ildemaro Vargas is the major leaguer at third base, but he's a veteran probably holding a spot. There's Carter Kieboom as well. 56 overall, huh? CJ Abrams, Jeter Downs at shortstop. Abrams is only a 67. He's got good contact against righties. Alex Call, Stone Garrett, Franmil Reyes is at AAA. He's got power. Corey Dickerson is at the major league level. Victor Robles at AAA. Robert Hassel III, he's at AA. And then we've got Lane Thomas and Joey Meneses in right field, with Nomar Mazara out there too. Strasburg has a... Ouch. We gotta get rid of Strasburg. He's signed through 2026. He's averaging $35 million. He's $35 million a year through 2026. Corbin is signed through 2024 at $21.5 million and then $25 million. And beyond that, he can be a free agent. So, we got to figure out what to do with Strasburg. I think our goals here are to cut expenses where we can, get younger, draft well, and trade some of these pieces. So Steven Strasburg and Patrick Corbin for sure. We're going to seek starting pitching. Boy, oh boy. I mean, just about everything is last or near last. Okay, we're going to select 3 positions. They're going to start with starting pitching, but we're also going to look at shortstop, first base. I would really like this to be a realistic rebuild, and because of that, I'm going to leave Steven Strasburg off of the 40-man roster, and I'm going to look to move him as soon as I can, so he's not going to be part of the Nationals. He may not pitch ever again in real life, so I'm going to move the franchise forward without Strasburg. So now that we have selected the Washington Nationals, or the spin wheel did for us, we have done quite a bit of the preseason shuffling. We have set up our trade block. We've taken a look at the free agents. We have determined that we want to put Strasburg and Corbin and Victor Robles and Doolittle on the trade block and see if we can get prospects in return. And we're really going to be focusing on the corner infield positions and the development of a couple of center field prospects. So the only thing to do at this point is to play a game, and we get the National League East rival Atlanta Braves right off the bat. Here we go. Harris, Arcia, Acuna, Murphy, Albies, Riley, Vaughn, Grissom, Ozuna. I mean, this Braves team is pretty stacked. Here we go with opening day of 2023 between the Atlanta Braves and Washington Nationals. I do like the presentation quite a bit better than just the regular Diamond Dynasty stuff. Mackenzie Gore facing Michael Harris, and we are underway. Popped up, shallow right field, and Mackenzie Gore. Oh my God, Luis Garcia couldn't handle it. Oh. Wow, there's an E4. That's not an omen that we like to see. And he struck him out. So first strikeout of the season recorded by Mackenzie Gore. Runner goes, and he's easily safe. First stolen base of the season for Michael Harris. Swing and a miss, he struck out Acuna. Swing and a miss, he struck him out, so Mackenzie Gore gets out of the inning by striking out the side after that pop-up that was dropped in short right field by Luis Garcia. They gave him a hit on that? Wow. Spencer Strider. So let's see how challenging it is going to be to hit on Hall of Fame against a CPU with PCIs that are not Diamond Dynasty related. It's not bad. Line drive, base hit into center field. There's the first hit of the season. It's Joey Meneses. And that's going to get down for extra bases. The first hit allowed by Mackenzie Gore, well, technically the second. Austin Riley is going to go to third. Here comes the throw, and he is safe. A triple for Austin Riley. Ground ball is going to get the run in. Garcia fires to first for the out, but Atlanta leads this one 1-0. A triple and a fielder's choice ground out by Vaughn Grissom makes it 1-0. He got him on a curveball, and that will do it for the inning. And our goal is to continue that rebuild. C.J. Abrams pulls one through the hole for a base hit. Decent speed aboard with one out in the third. That's ball 4. He did not go around. Garcia draws a walk. The first issued by Spencer Strider. And that will bring up Meneses. Another perfect shot to center field. Michael Harris is going to run it down, however, and Abrams will move up 90 feet to third base. Line drive into left field for a base hit, and Lane Thomas has tied the score at 1-1.
Yeah, baby!
2-out RBI single to left off of Spencer Strider to knock this score at 1. Ground ball hit to short. Abrams knocks it down, but that's going to be an infield single for Ronald Acuna. Would not be surprised to see Acuna go at some point. And there he goes. Easily safe. Line drive base hit to right field. Acuna coming around, and he will score, and the Braves take a 2-1 lead. Line drive base hit center field. We have another play at the plate coming. 38 speed. Here comes the throw all the way in, and he is not going to be able to get him. Keibert Ruiz with the swipe, but it's too late, and Atlanta goes up 3-1. And it comes inside, and the ball is hit to right center field. Meneses can't get there, and neither can Stone Garrett. Here comes the runner. He is not stopping. He's coming all the way to the plate, and he is going to be safe. He will score from first on a double in the right center field gap, and I think that's going to be all for Mackenzie Gore. Ground ball. Vargas can't get to it. It's down the line, base hit. Another run will score. It's 5-1. Riley scores, and now you can close the book on Mackenzie Gore, who will surrender 5 earned runs. Fly ball into right center field, and Sean Murphy is going to have extra bases. Joey Meneses will get the ball into second base. A one-out double for Sean Murphy, and the hits just keep coming for Atlanta. There is the Braves' 11th. Got him. Down goes Riley. So Jordan Weems comes in and pitches really well. In the 7th, he gives up a double but leaves him stranded. It's 5-1 Atlanta as we go to the 7th inning stretch. Line drive into left field, base hit. Meneses is aboard with one out in the 8th and maybe a little sign of life. And he's out in front of a slow slider. Down he goes, 2 down in the 8th. That one's hit over Ronald Acuna's head. No, he's going to run it down. We thought maybe that there was a chance it was going to get over Acuna's head and right for extra bases, but Corey Dickerson flies out on a line out to right field, and we go into the 9th with the Braves holding on to a 5-1 advantage. Edwards goes after him with the fastball, and Acuna pops up to right field to Joey Meneses, and the inning is over. So the last chance coming up for the Nationals here. They're down 5-1 going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Ruiz, Garrett, and Delmaro Vargas will be the hitters in the bottom of the 9th. Fastball is hit high and deep to center field. Harris on the run. He's at the track, and he will leap. He will reach out and make the catch. Every single ball that we have hit that could go off of somebody's glove or in the gap have just been run down by this amazing Atlanta Braves defense. Ground ball to Ozzie Albies at second base. And the Nationals are down to their final out on opening day. Vargas, a sliding stop by Ozzie Albies. Make it stop, my goodness. Atlanta with the win. Spencer Strider gets the W on the mound, and an amazing cast of defenders behind him. Goodness, Michael Harris took away extra bases. Acuna took away extra bases. Ozzie Albies took away a hit. There was just a whole host of defensive plays by these Atlanta Braves in a 5-1 victory. Spencer Strider the win, Mackenzie Gore the loss. So Austin Riley goes 2 for 4 with a double, a triple, an RBI, and a couple of runs scored. The player of the game goes to Spencer Strider, who strikes out 6 in 6 innings, allows 4 hits with 1 walk, and allows just the 1 earned run. Mackenzie Gore charged with 5 earned runs. He gave up in 8 hits in 5 innings, 8 strikeouts. He walked a man. He didn't pitch poorly. The last couple of runs were tacked on after he left the ball game. It was effective, but it wasn't good enough based on Washington only scoring 1 run. Everybody in Atlanta's lineup, top to bottom, had at least 1 hit, and Acuna and Riley had 2 each. There were 14 Atlanta Braves strikeouts in the ball game. 2 each for Arcia, Acuna, Murphy, Riley, and Grissom. Riley and Murphy doubled. Riley also tripled in the ball game, and Acuna and Harris both stole second base. 2 hits for Meneses and for Keibert Ruiz. 9 total strikeouts, 2 each for Garcia, Lane Thomas, Stone Garrett, and Vargas. Lane Thomas, the lone RBI of the ballgame. Gray, Williams, Corbin, Thompson, and then Mackenzie Gore pitches again against Tampa Bay. So the next series that we will start, the next game that we will actually play, is the first game of the series in Colorado. So we need help pretty much everywhere. Left field with Corey Dickerson's being a free agent. We do have Alex Call stepping in. Meneses and Lane Thomas are good and right, but center field is a prospect position at the moment. I'm going to look for second baseman, third baseman, first baseman, and pitching, really. Positional needs. Let's see. Select up to 3 positions to improve. Third base, starting pitcher, and first base. So I'm going to set Carter Wilson here on Discover New Prospects because he's got the highest discovery rating. We're going to look for pitchers in the East. Priority number 2, we are going to scout a position player. Scout position? We can scout position here. We can scout prospect. Let's scout a prospect. I've got the number 2 overall draft pick. Okay, here we go. Draft 1, rank 1. The number 1 ranked guy on our board is Stephen Soto, a second baseman. Potential 75 to a 99. He's a 19-year-old. Johnny Feliz is a catcher. I think I'll pass on that. Ruiz is going to be around for a while, I think. Johnny McGrath is a shortstop. 10% known? Yeah, let's go ahead. Now, priority number 3. Again, a position player. Let's scout. We can take a look at Stephen Soto. We do have the number 2 overall pick, so okay, that'll do it. Bonus allotment, $13 million. We don't have any idea what they're going to sign for. All right, that'll do it for now. We're going to advance, finalize weekly scouting plan. Okay, good. So let's go to the calendar and simulate through this Tampa Bay. Critical situations might come up. Stone Garrett, strained oblique. Let's leave him. Let's keep him active. Okay, critical situation. Tie game, batting at home, walk it off. Joey Meneses, okay. Bottom 9. I wish there was somebody on base. And he struck out on a cutter swinging early. Rain delay? Warm up a fresh arm. Interesting. We got him at third. What a heads up play at short. Oh no. Runners at first and third. He got that splitter right there. It's a good thing we got that lead runner a second ago. Ground ball to Chavis. He'll go second for 1. Relay in time. Inning over. We got the double play and a chance to walk it off in the 10th. Ground out, double play, strikeout, unassisted ground out. And he's behind a changeup. It's 3 pitches and down goes Lane Thomas. That ball's hit high and fairly deep to left field. Rosarina gets back and he will make the play. We are not going to be able to advance. So all of a sudden we need a base hit and maybe a base hit in the gap to drive in a run. Vargas got a decent piece of that though. Popped up, shallow, right fielder coming in, going to the 11th. Blew an opportunity. I had a feeling. Just too good, just too challenging here, and we didn't score in the bottom half, and line drive, fair ball down inside the line. That is going to be an extra base hit as well, and another RBI. What a lucky break for Tampa Bay. It's 4-2. Line to base hit, center field. We're going to hold him up. Jose's series throw all the way coming into the plate. We're going to hold him up because we need more than that 1 run anyway. And he struck him out. Slapped up the middle of the shortstop. Will go the short way, and the ball game is over. So a critical situation to try to walk it off in the bottom of the 9th inning was unsuccessful. We did hold Tampa in the top of the 10th, but really had an opportunity in the bottom half of that inning and came up empty. And the Rays made me pay in the top of the 11th with a pair of doubles. Tampa Bay leads this series 2-0 in a 4-2 final in this one. So Washington drops to 0-5, and we're going to simulate through this date. We're going to auto-utilize him here. Mackenzie Gore, we're going to keep him active. Andres Machado out 1 to 2 months with a dislocated shoulder, so we're going to have to put Machado on the 15-day injured list. 1 to 2 months, my goodness. But a 13-5 Washington Nationals victory. So not a great start for the Washington Nationals, and we kind of expected this. We do lose to the Braves, which is not altogether unexpected. Spencer Strider was pretty good. Then we had a critical situation with the Tampa Bay Rays and could not score in the bottom of the 10th when we held Tampa. And then Tampa made us pay on the 11th and we could not score. So we are through the first 6 games, and the next game will be the game that we play in full. That will be at Colorado with our number 2 starter. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do with these Washington Nationals. That was a really good start that we had with Mackenzie Gore until he kind of got knocked around a little bit and left with a couple runners on that wound up being charged to him. That's why he wound up with 5 earned runs. But, the Braves are good, and Tampa Bay is good too. So, it's not a shock to be 1-5 off the start of the season here. We'll try to get back on track when we play the Colorado Rockies in our next episode of the Washington Nationals franchise. This is a little bit longer of a video, Not all of these are going to be that long, but we will show you what we're doing in scouting. We will show you the full game and any critical moments that we have in between and leading up to the end of the game week, so to speak. So thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. If you would, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Comment down below on what moves you would like to see, or maybe some suggestions on what to do with Steven Strasberg and Patrick Corbin and the like. Subscribe to the channel if you would. That would help this community grow, and turn those notifications on so you know when we've got content that is live. Until then, we'll see you in the next one.